Welcome to the second part of our guide to using Techlink Professional. In part 1, we looked at entering the site, the bulletin content, information library and need to know content. In this part, we will cover the rest of the services available on the site. TechLearn lectures are short animated lectures covering tax, legal and pension topics aimed at supporting advisors studying for the RO exams. These lectures consist of a PowerPoint style presentation with a lecturer's voice played in synchronization with the animation. On this page you will see a list of the lectures. For each lecture you will see the title of the lecture, below which is a synopsis of the issues covered within it, along with the date it was last revised. For the demonstration we will look at the lecture entitled RO3 Revision Lecture Residence and Domicile. When a lecture page is opened, you are presented with a summary of the lecture. This gives the title of the lecture and the date the lecture was posted. In a summary box underneath is the title of the lecture, which consultant has created and voiced the lecture, a running time of the lecture, as well as links to Techlink. The links are supplied to give you further, more in-depth information on the subject areas contained in the lecture by taking you to the most relevant parts of the Techlink library. Below this you will see a button marked Start Lecture, a button marked Fact Sheet, and below that a synopsis of the content of the lecture. Finally, there is a link at the bottom of the screen taking you to a multiple choice test which will test your understanding of the content of the lecture. Pressing the Start Lecture button will open a new browser screen within which the lecture will start to play. These lectures require audio and video content to load, and so there may be a short delay before the lecture begins to play. The lecture, which is shown here, features an animated PowerPoint presentation that has the lecturer's voice recorded in conjunction with it. These lectures have control buttons at the top right of the screen that enables you to start, pause and close the lecture. Once the lecture is finished, closing the window will return you to the lecture landing page. Each lecture has a downloadable PDF fact sheet. These are 2 or 3 page bullet point summaries of the content of the lecture that can be used as an aid memoir for later revision. Finally, there is an ability to take the test on the lecture, which is done by clicking on Take the Test. On doing this, the first question of the test appears in a separate screen. You choose your answer by clicking in the circle next to the answer you wish to choose and then press Submit Answer. The next question will then appear. This process is continued until you have completed the test. Please note that if, at any time, you wish to stop taking the test before completing all the questions, you can click the button in the top right hand corner marked Close the Test. When you then return to this test at a later time, you will continue the test from where you left off. Once you have completed the full test, a summary of your results will appear, as can be seen here. You will be shown the date you took the test and the score you received. Below this will be all the questions you answered, showing with a tick the questions you have answered correctly. Any question you answered incorrectly will show the answer you gave in red, with a red cross next to it, with the correct answer underlined in green. Once you have finished reviewing your results, you can close the results summary by clicking the link at the top right of the test page. The other multimedia service on Techlink are Techcasts, which we are now going to look at. These are available by clicking the multimedia icon on the navigation column and then choosing Techcast from the drop-down that appears. To enable Techlink to help you keep up to date even on the move, we also produce Techcasts. These are audio files detailing and discussing the most important bulletins that have been produced on Techlink in the last month in regard to tax, trusts, pensions and the financial services industry. Each month we produce one Techcast in regard to pensions and another in regard to tax. In this case we are going to look at the one in regard to the tax bulletins produced for May. You are presented with a summary of the podcast. This gives the title of the podcast. Below this is the summary box containing the details of which consultant has created and voiced the podcast, the date, a running time for the podcast and a synopsis of the content of the podcast, along with links to any bulletins referred to in the podcast. The podcast will automatically play on screen for you to listen to, and controls to pause, start, forward or rewind the podcast are available directly under this summary box. Below this you will see a button marked Play MP3, along with links to subscribe to the RSS feed and to add the podcasts to iTunes. These options will enable you to automatically download the podcasts to your iPod, iPhone, Android or other personal device when a new one becomes available. If you wish to add it to iTunes, clicking on the link will add this and any future Techcasts to your iTunes podcast subscriptions if you have one set up on your computer. Now moving away from the multimedia area, we are now going to look at the two search facilities available on the site. First, the title search facility. Rather than searching through the contents of documents, Title Search dynamically searches for the search words you entered through the title of a document only, giving almost instant results. On the left-hand side of the screen, above the navigation column, is a box entitled Title Search. Once you start to type the words that you are searching for, a box will appear that will dynamically update its content as you type. This box will show you each time your search words are mentioned in the title of a bulletin, information library or need-to-know document on the Techlink website. To go to the document concerned, just click on its link. The amount of documents found in the search will be shown at the top of the box, with the ability to view all the results by clicking the View All link at the top right of the box. The second search facility is available from the Search button on the navigation column on the left of the screen. The search facility on the site enables you to search for specific words or phrases within the Techlink website. In the Keywords box, type in the word or words you wish to search for. For the purposes of this demonstration, we will use discretionary trust. The search engine then allows you to choose a period of time to search, which we will leave as is. You will then be required to click Submit Search to see the results. The search engine will now search through any bulletins, information library topics and need-to-know topics and find mention of the word you are searching for. If you searched for more than one word, it will find any mention of the words used in the same paragraph together. When the results appear, you will see the number of results found, and for each result you will be given the title of the document the search words were found in and the date each was posted. We will now click on one of these results. Each mention of the search words within the document is highlighted in yellow. We are now going to move on to look at the test section of the site. Each month, Techlink produces two interactive multiple choice question tests which are based on the content of the last month's bulletins. One is based on the tax and financial planning bulletins posted the previous month, and one based on the pension bulletins posted the previous month. We shall take a look at one of the tax and financial planning tests. Here you will see a summary of the test you're about to take and the date the test was published. Please note that each test can only be taken once. These tests work in the same way as the tests described in the TechLearn lectures. The first question of the test appears in a separate screen. You choose your answer by clicking in the circle next to the answer you wish to choose and then press Submit Answer. The next question will then appear. Continue this process until you have completed the test. Once you have completed the full test, a summary of your results will appear. You will be shown the date you took the test and the score you received. Below this will be all the questions you answered, showing with a tick the questions you answered correctly. Any question you answered incorrectly will show the answer you gave in red and a red cross next to it, with the correct answer underlined in green. Unlike the TechLearn lecture, to the right of the question is a link marked See where the answer is found. Clicking on this link will take you to the bulletin from which the question and subsequent answer originated. Once you have finished reviewing your results, you can close the test by clicking the link at the top right of the test page. We will now look at the My Profile page, available by clicking on My Profile under the My Techlink section on the left. The profile screen is split into three sections: User Information, the weekly What You Missed email, and Email Alerts. By completing the user information, this enables us to contact you regarding Techlink matters. By completing your email details in the profile page, you will have access to the What You Missed email and the email alert section. In the What You Missed section, if you tick the box to receive the email, then every Friday an email will be delivered to your inbox. The What You Missed email will collate and list the 3 most important bulletins produced on the site that week, giving the title of the bulletin, its synopsis and the first paragraph of content, along with a link that takes you directly to the full bulletin. By receiving this alert, you can be sure that you will be informed of the most relevant technical developments of the week. If you do not wish to receive any more of these weekly email alerts, you can choose to unsubscribe from the weekly What You Missed email by removing the tick from the box. In the email alert section, by ticking which area of Techlink you are interested in and choosing Submit, each time a new bulletin, library document, need-to-know document or new TechLearn lecture is published on the site, or a library document or need-to-know document is revised, an email will be sent to your personal email address giving you details of the document and a web link to direct you to it. We will now look at the Techlink CPD services. Your use of Techlink as a research tool can contribute to your monthly CPD requirements. The My Profile section of the site includes CPD tracking and records all the time you spent on Techlink, providing a quick and accurate printable summary that can be used for your CPD records. This is what we shall look at now. Here you see a screen listing the length of time you have been using Techlink over previous months. By clicking on any relevant month, you will be able to see the results further broken down to show which areas of the site you have spent what time within. Please note that your time on the site is only added to your log at the end of the day, so today's results will only show from tomorrow. We will now click on the link for May 2012. You are now shown the general subject areas you have viewed in that month and how long you spent in each of those areas. We will now look at the link marked Investment, Taxation and Planning. You can now see which individual subject headings you have viewed on the site in that month and how long within each one. Clicking on Children and Financial Planning then reveals which individual topics you viewed within that heading during the month and how long you spent on each of these documents. Clicking on any of those links will take you to the actual document you viewed. We are now going to take a look at the CPD tests page. Supporting the CPD tracking are the multiple choice question tests mentioned earlier. These tests are recorded in conjunction with the CPD time logs and will demonstrate that, as a user, you have understood and digested the current developments in the industry. In CPD tests, you will see a summary of each of the tests you have taken to date, along with the date you took them and the score you achieved. We will now click on one of those. Clicking on any of the titles of these tests will show you, in a separate web browser, the test summary page you originally saw after completing the test, listing the questions you answered correctly and incorrectly. So that now concludes this demonstration of Techlink Professional. If you have any further queries in regard to the use of Techlink, please feel free to contact us using the details available on the Contact Us link on the website. Thank you.